Picture this. You wake up one morning and nothing works. Your phone is dead. The lights don't turn on. You flip every switch in your house. Nothing. You walk outside and your neighbors are doing the same thing. Cars with electronic ignitions won't start. Stores are dark. Traffic lights are off. And here's the thing. It doesn't come back. Not in an hour. Not in a day. Not ever. Now you might be thinking, okay, that's dramatic. That can't actually happen. But few people grasp the reality that the systems keeping you alive right now are far more fragile than you think. And the moment electricity disappears permanently, everything starts collapsing. Fast. So let's walk through exactly what happens, step by step, because the timeline is genuinely terrifying. Let's start with the first few hours. This is where most people underestimate the problem. Within hours, hospitals are running on backup generators. Those generators have fuel. That fuel runs out. Patients on ventilators, dialysis machines, heart monitors, they're all immediately at risk. Communications go dark. Your phone loses signal. Cell towers need power. Without it, there's no calling for help, no texting, no internet, no news updates, nothing. Here's what most gets overlooked. Most people assume emergency services will just figure it out. But emergency services run on the same grid you do. The moment electricity disappears, coordination becomes nearly impossible. You are, for the first time in your life, completely on your own. Now let's talk about water. This is where it gets really uncomfortable. You turn on your tap and water still flows for a little while. But water treatment plants run on electricity. So do the pumps pushing water through city pipes. Within days, that pressure drops. Within a week in most cities, the taps run dry. Yet most people overlook this critical point. Clean water is not something you can improvise easily. Rivers exist, lakes exist, but without electricity, you can't run the filtration systems that make that water safe to drink. Waterborne diseases spread fast. Cholera, typhoid, dysentery. These aren't ancient history problems. They're what happens when clean water infrastructure disappears. Food is next, and this one moves faster than you'd expect. Think about how grocery stores actually work. Most of them carry roughly 3 days of inventory. They rely on constant restocking through refrigerated trucks, automated warehouses, and computerized supply chains. All of that stops instantly. Refrigerators in stores stop working. Meat spoils within hours. Dairy goes shortly after. And here's the analogy that might help you picture it. Modern food distribution is like a river. It only works while it's flowing. The moment electricity stops, the river stops, and there's nothing sitting in a reservoir waiting for you. Most people in cities have maybe a week of food at home. After that, things get very serious very quickly. Now here's where it gets interesting. Rural areas actually survive longer than cities at first. Small farms can operate without electricity for basic tasks. Wells can be hand-pumped. Animals can be fed manually. Wood can be burned for heat and cooking. But even rural areas depend on electricity for fuel pumps, fertilizer production, and mechanical equipment. The Venezuelan blackouts of 2019 showed us a preview of this. That crisis was one country, not the whole world, and it still caused hospitals to fail, water to disappear, and food systems to collapse within days. Now imagine that happening everywhere simultaneously, with no neighboring country to send aid, no outside supply chain to draw from. So what about rebuilding? This is the part most people never think about. You might assume that eventually someone figures out how to restore power. Yet almost nobody grasps this. The components needed to rebuild a modern power grid: transformers, semiconductors, specialized industrial equipment. Those things are manufactured using electricity. The factories that make them need power. The transportation systems that deliver them need power. It's a circle. You need electricity to restore electricity. And without it, rebuilding from scratch would take decades, not months. Some researchers use the phrase civilization killer for exactly this reason. Once the chain breaks completely, there may be no starting it again. One specific scenario that experts take seriously is a high-altitude electromagnetic pulse, or EMP event. A nuclear detonation far above the surface of the Earth generates a massive electromagnetic shockwave. It travels at the speed of light. It hits every conductor in its range simultaneously. Power grids, cars, phones, computers. Anything with electronics gets fried in an instant. The 1859 Carrington Event was a natural version of this. It happened before electrical infrastructure existed. If it happened today, it would knock out power across entire continents in seconds. The EMP Commission warned that recovery would take years, possibly longer, and during that time, the cascade of failures we've been walking through, water, food, hospitals, communication, all of it happens at once, everywhere, with no warning. Here's the honest truth about what all of this means for you personally. Your survival in a world without electricity depends almost entirely on how prepared your community is. Not just you individually. Communities that know each other, that have shared skills, that can grow food together and share clean water sources, those communities survive. Isolated individuals in cities with no practical skills and no neighbors they know by name face a much harder situation. We've spent generations building a civilization that runs on electricity. Most of us have never had to think about what sits underneath it. The answer is not much, and that might be the most unsettling thing about this entire scenario. It's not that electricity disappearing is likely. It's that almost none of us have ever seriously thought about what we'd do if it did.